Microaggressions are a form of implicit bias in action. Psychologist Daryl W. Sue defines microaggressions as the everyday slights, the indignities, the put downs, the insults that people of color, women, LGBT populations, and those who are marginalized experience in their day to day interactions with people. Brief, commonplace, verbal, behavioral, and environmental slights that communicate hostile, derogatory, or negative stereotypes or attitudes towards stigmatized or culturally marginalized groups. And often, microaggressions are offered by people who are well intentioned, but unaware of the impact that their words or actions may have on the target. Microaggressions are painful because they have to do with a person's membership in a group that is discriminated against or that's subject to stereotypes. And unfortunately, microaggressions happen casually, frequently, and often without any harm intended in everyday life. According to one poster and a blog on microaggressions on Tumblr, often microaggressions are never meant to hurt, acts done with little conscious awareness of their meanings and effects. Instead, their slow accumulation during a childhood and over a lifetime is in part what defines a marginalized experience. Social others are microaggressed hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. Examples of microaggressions include questions like, where are you really from? Where were you born? What are you? What do gay people think about the state of marriage equality? Includes comments like, you speak good English. You're so brave, I could never live with a disability. You don't act like a normal Black person. No, you're white. I don't see color. Let's have a quick powwow. It's time to open the kimono. Environmental conditions and actions like a law school with buildings that are named after leaders of the KKK, overcrowding of public schools in communities of color, clutching your purse when a Black family approaches, an overabundance of liquor stores in communities of color. I want you to consider for a second what negative, hostile, or derogatory message that these examples of microaggressions may send to the receiver. It's been said that microaggressions are like a million little paper cuts, each seemingly tiny, but surprisingly painful and cumulative in their effect. A recent study shows that targets of microaggressions suffer psychological distress, including an increase in symptoms of depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. And they can face backlash if they speak up. The daily buildup of microaggressions impacts people in the moment, but certainly over a lifetime. And their cumulative effect are profound and long-lasting. And when we're in stressed conditions, studies show that implicit bias is greater and microaggressions increase. When we're cognitively strained, when we're emotionally stressed, when we're under time constraints, when we're distracted, we tend to operate on autopilot and we act on gut feelings or knee-jerk reactions that are often based in bias. We act without being self-reflective and mindful. We're more habitual in our responses than goal-directed in the choices that we make. And we're less likely to adjust our initial judgment.